Hello guys, welcome to Africa Gossip Arena. So guys, having said that, what is actually happening in Edo State today should not have happened. What is happening in Edo State today is something we usually watch on Nollywood films. Or will I say Edo State is now the new Nollywood movie industry. And this time, guys, a lot is actually happening in Edo State. Between the former governor of Edo State, His Excellency Governor Baseki, and the newly elected governor, Monday Okphebholo, over the suspended local government chairman in the state. Due to the fact that the PDP National Edo State chairman have also come out, Dr. Tony Ezegbeme, have this time come out to speak about the 18 suspended local government chairmen in the state. In an interview he granted on Arise TV News, calling the suspension of the 18 local government chairmen an illegal decision Governor Monday Okphebholo actually took in order to destroy ex-Governor Baseki's political structure. Dr. Tony Ezegbeme also said that Governor Monday Okphebholo don't actually know what he's actually doing because he is being used by those who actually put him in power. Anyway, let me leave you to watch this video to the end to see what Dr. Tony Ezegbeme actually said about the political battle that is actually happening right now in Edo State. And don't forget, guys, that subscription to this channel is actually free. So if this is your first time of seeing this channel, please do well to hit on the like button, subscribe, and don't forget to turn on your notification bell. Also drop your own opinion on the comment section about what you actually think about the political war in Edo State. And also share this post to more than 10 persons in different social media platforms.
Well, we are now being joined to have a quick chat on what's really happening in this matter by Dr. Anthony Ezegbeme, who's the Edo State Chairman of People's Democratic Party.
Good morning.
Good morning, and Happy New Year to you. All right, let's talk about the development.
Happy New Year to you and Nigerians.
All right, let's talk about the development in your state, particularly as it affects your party, and I'm talking in specific terms about what is happening to local government chairmen in Edo State. We know what led to all this, the initial removal by the State House of Assembly of all the 18 local government chairmen together with their deputies. But then there was, on the 21st of December, I believe, a ruling by an Edo High Court declaring that illegal and reinstating the local government chairmen with their deputies. But now we see that at least more than 4 of them have now been impeached by their respective councillors. And your party appears not to be, of course, happy about it. Tell us in detail what is actually happening. Is the ruling by the Edo State High Court being disrespected? We have heard of thugs going around some of the local government areas trying to force chairmen out of office. What actually is happening, and what is the stance of your party on this development?
Yeah, let me thank Arise for this invitation. I think it's an opportunity to lay bare all the ugly things happening around Edo State in terms of the local government council chairmen that were duly elected in 2023. First, let me say Happy New Year to Nigerians. It's going to be a very good year. We should all just ready, sit back, fasten our seatbelts, and take all the opportunities that God will throw at us. We should look up to the year with maximum optimism, and I believe very strongly that in each and every home in Nigeria, in Edo State, there will be peace, there will be harmony, and everybody, there will be prosperity for all. Having said that, what is happening in Edo shouldn't happen. What is happening in Edo is something you will hear or see in movies, Nollywood movies. First, the whole thing started when the governor wrote a letter to the House of Assembly asking for the House of Assembly to dissolve the elected council chairmen and their deputies in line with Section 10(1) of the 2000 Edo State Local Government Law, 2022 as amended. First, it has to be made very clear that letter in the first instance was an illegal letter. That letter shouldn't have been written in the first instance if the governor knew what he was doing. Because, as at the time he wrote that letter, the Chief Judge of Edo State had given a ruling that Section 10(1) of the Edo State Local Government Law has been annulled and repealed by the judgment of the Supreme Court. So he had no business writing that letter in the first instance. Having written that letter, the letter got to the House of Assembly. The Assembly, in their own naivety, I would say, didn't rely on that section that he premised his letter on. They relied on Section 20, which talks about suspension. It is after that resolution by the House of Assembly that all hell have been let loose in Edo State. And we need to draw the attention of Nigerians to this, that you cannot suspend, dissolve the local government councils because they were elected by people, by Edo citizens. You cannot. The Supreme Court has said so. The Attorney General of the Federation has said so. The Chief Judge of Edo State has said so. Even after the suspension, the council chairman went back to the court. And a judge in Edo State, High Court 2, Honorable Justice F.A. Ikpomba, set aside the suspension, the illegal suspension done by the House of Assembly. You would have thought that everybody that has some level of conscience, of sense in him, will stop at that. But no, even after the High Court judge has given his judgment, in fact, that was when the whole thing now snowballed into what we are now witnessing in Edo State, where one councillor, two councillors, led by the police and the DSS, will go into a council hall and say they have impeached a local government, an elected local government chairman. I've never seen such a thing before in my life.
Well, despite
As if Section 19 of the 2000 Edo State Local Government Law stipulates exactly how a local government council chairman and his vice can be impeached. It's a process. It's just like impeaching the governor of a state. You cannot do it within 1 hour. It's impossible. It's unlawful. It's unconstitutional. It's a process. You have to have 2/3 signing into a petition that the chairman and the vice have committed, in the opinion of the petitioner, gross misconduct. 2/3 members of the councillors must sign that petition, taken to the leader of the house. A panel needs to be set up. It's a process, just as I said, just like impeaching the governor of a state or the president of the country. So, for us as a party, we think that there has never been any impeachment in this state. All the council chairmen that we elected and their vice, as far as we are concerned, they are still on their seats. We have directed that they should go back to their offices. Nobody has impeached them. We are taking remedies. We're going to charge some people for contempt to court. Because we cannot allow this, we cannot allow this blazing act of illegality to happen in our dear state. So we just think that the Nigerians should be aware of what is happening in Edo State. we think that what is happening, all the fingers point to the governor of the state, Monday okphebholo, who has decided to disregard court judgments, to disrespect court judgments, to think that he can just wake up one morning and say, I want this to happen, and it will happen. And we are telling him it will never happen in Edo State. We have to, this is a state, this is a country of the rule of law.
All right then, thank you for your submissions. But despite the Edo State High Court's ruling, of course, reinstating the suspended chairman and deputies, I'd like to ask why you think the state government continues to pursue for their removal. Does this in itself indicate a disregard for judicial authority? And what impact could this have on the rule of law in Edo State?
Clearly, this is a clear-cut case of total disregard, total disrespect, total disobedience to court judgments, to the rule of law. And that's what I'm saying. It should not happen in Edo State. Edo State, we pride ourselves as we're not the carry last. And that means that we do things the right way. We have an idea of what should be done and how it should be done. And we ought to follow the due process. But I think it points to a more fundamental issue, which is that the governor is surrounded by people that don't have it. That people cannot tell him, Mr. Governor, this is not right. Mr. Governor, constitutionally, you cannot do this. So when you surround your people with people that have no idea, that's what you get. The people you surrounded yourself with people that have no idea. Even you, who is at the helm of affairs, you don't have an idea. This is what you get. And this is what we warned the Edo people about before the elections. That we are going to have a mediocre government in place. If, God forbid, these guys come into power. And they knew that. That was why they had to do what they did on the 21st of September by brazenly, without recourse to decency and modicum of conscience, rigged the last elections with the help of INEC and the police. I just say that Edo people should just relax. This is for a while. This darkness that has enveloped Edo State, it will soon go away. We are coming and will come and make sure that this brazen act of disregard for court processes, court judgments, will be a thing of the past. And decisions will be taken in a logical, in a well thought out process, and not just one person waking up in the morning and believing that he can say something and it should be done. It will never be done. It's unconstitutional to remove or suspend council chairman, elected council chairman in Edo State.
Yes.
In fact, across the country.
Yes, it's definitely an illegal action to remove local government chairmen. But also beyond the removal or the suspension of the chairman, it's been reported that 2 local government chairmen and 13 councillors have defected from the PDP to the APC in Edo State, led, I believe, by the Honorable Edosa, the chairman of the Ovia South local government. Now, this defection from the PDP to the APC, do you think this signals more defections to come in Edo State? And what does it say about the health of the PDP as an opposition to the APC in Edo State?
Yes, that's the point we're making in the PDP. There are processes to doing things. Defection is one of those things that any politician has a right to. Anybody can get up one morning and decide to leave party A or party B. We respect those decisions. We don't grudge those people that have left the PDP. What we are saying is that you live and you bear the consequences. there are consequences for elected officers of government to defect from one party to the other if there is no division at the national level. So for those two chairmen that have defected, on Monday, we'll be filing a suit in court asking the court to declare their seats vacant. We will follow the law. You have a right to defect. We, as a party, have a right to take you to court, asking the court to declare your seats vacant. So let there be an election, because you cannot carry our votes to another party. It's not possible. The PDP members in your local government, in your ward, worked for you, worked day and night for you. You were elected on the platform of the PDP, and you have the effrontery to say you want to defect. I don't have a problem with that. We reserve the right to go to court, to ask the court to declare those seats vacant, because you cannot carry our votes from our party to the other party. So, as I said, yesterday I had a very interesting conversation with one councillor from one of the local governments, and I was so elated and very happy with that conversation. A councillor called me and said, "Chairman, these defections of some council chairmen and councillors should not bother the party. That if we had 192 councillors and 18 council chairmen and maybe whatever figure, one S figure decomes, that the councillors, majority of them, they are going to stick with the party. They are going to support the party to make sure that we remain strong and united." I was thrilled with that call from that councillor in one of the local governments where we think the council chairman will also defect next week. So, to answer your question, as a party in Edo State, as a PDP, we are not bothered with these defections. We think that they are missing the point, and let the court take a decision on that. But as I said, we are taking them to court on Monday to determine whether they should not lose their seats in line with the provisions of the Constitution, Section 109, 1G of the Constitution, that says that if you defect, you lose your seat. So we'll take it off from there.
All right, Dr. Azegbemi. Two questions before we begin to wrap up. First will be, what will be your reaction to the allegations of embezzlement on the part of some of the local government chairmen that have been impeached? There was a specific case of an allegation of embezzlement of 50 million naira. I believe that will be at Esan, a local government, where, of course, as you are aware, the chairman too has been purportedly removed. What would be your reaction to that? Yes, it might be illegal in the manner that the chairmen are being removed, but then if there are infractions, particularly financial infractions and allegations of embezzlement, what is your party doing about that? And then secondly, what do you attribute this seeming desperation to on the part of the APC, or shall we say on the part of the state governor, in trying to remove all the local government chairmen that are of the PDP party? Does it have anything to do with the financial autonomy that will, fully formed in by this month? Monies will now be paid directly, to the local government coffers. Could that be the reason why the governor is desperate to have his own men at the helm of affairs of the local government areas in Edo State?
Wow, I couldn't have said this better than you. You just hit the nail on the head. Number one, I accept the fact that infractions can happen at any level in government. But the point we are making, and I wish to draw the attention of Nigerians to this, is that there's a procedure in doing that. if there was an infraction, somebody embezzled money, misappropriated money, there's a process. Is the councillors must sit and have a petition taken to the Speaker of the House. If you don't want to do that, as the governor did, for whatever reason, he wrote to the EFCC to carry out an investigation. We don't have any problems at all with trying to investigate any infractions. What we are saying, you cannot say somebody embezzled 50 million today and in the next 1 hour you are impeaching the person. That is so dumb. It can't happen. Where was the panel? Who investigated? Did you ask him a question? Did he reply you? I mean, this is 21st century, for crying out loud. This is Edo State. Now, to your second question, I like the way you put it. The whole thing smacks of desperation. I think the desperation stems from the fact that since the president has said that local government councils will get their money directly, they feel that they need to have a chunk of that pie. But my worry for Edo citizens is that they should forget about development at that tier of government, that these guys are voracious, they are insatiable, their appetites are insatiable. Nothing will happen at the local government councils if what the devilish plan they are planning takes place. So Edo people should just be ready. However, let me warn the governor and the APC that whatever they are doing now, they should know that when my candidate and my party are declared winners of the election by the courts, whatever they do now, whatever bad thing they are doing to us now, we will package it properly, threefold, and take it back to them. And they should be sure that the security agencies, the corruption agencies, will be on their heels if they think that they can just dip hand into the till or into the treasury of Edo State. So they should be extremely careful. I know the allure is there to get access to the treasury, the council's money, but they should be very careful, because I do know, because I know that touching government's money is a very, very dangerous thing, because you will only leave traces. Government money doesn't fly into the air; it doesn't vanish into the air. So they ought to be very, very careful, and we are warning them so that they don't say they are not warned. Do not satisfy your appetite by thinking that you can lay hands on those monies that are meant for the development of Edo State, because you think the INEC and the police helped you. You are a beneficiary of a stolen mandate, which should be recovered pretty soon after the Supreme Court judgment.
All right then. So let's touch on the impact that this in itself, this brouhaha, this back and forth is actually happening on the governance in Edo State with the ongoing impeachments, the political infighting. How do you reckon that the crisis in itself is affecting the ability of the local governments to deliver in their essential services? What they've been elected, put there to do. What's being done to reassure citizens and restore confidence in the local councils themselves? And just to hone on the point that you had made, talking about the federal autonomy versus state actions, with the federal government emphasizing, just like Steve rightfully mentioned, the financial autonomy for these local government councils. Yes, we're continuing to see these impeachments appear to contravene that principle. How do you reconcile the federal directive with the actions of Edo State government? Do you believe that this is in itself a situation that exposes a larger governance issue regarding the local government autonomy in Nigeria as a whole?
Okay, let me start by saying that since this whole saga started, I'm sure there's no council chairman in this state that has done anything in terms of governance. They are agitated. They are distracted. Nothing is happening at the local government council, at the councils. If I was a council chairman, I would be distracted. I wouldn't do anything. I would just be thinking of how to survive in the circumstances at the onslaught by the okphebholo-led government. So I can tell you that nothing is happening at the council level. Everything is politics. They've turned the whole thing into politics. There's no governance. That's because of the illegal and the unconstitutional way that this APC-led government, this clueless APC-led government, is trying to take over the councils. As for, in spite of all the judgments that we have, the Supreme Court judgment that talks about autonomy for the local governments, the Attorney General of the Federation coming out to say the suspension was illegal, the Chief Judge of Edo State saying that the section the governor relied on to write the letter to the House Assembly has been repealed and annulled, the judgment of FA saying that the suspension should not hold, the council chairman should be reinstated. Yet, and this is supposed to be an APC governor. This is supposed to be somebody who should link up with the federal government, because they are the center, to do the things that the president says they should do. So here you are with a governor, an APC governor, under an APC president, disobeying the president's directive, disobeying what the Supreme Court said, disobeying what the Attorney General of the Federation, who is an APC chieftain, said, disobeying what the Chief Judge of Edo State said, disobeying what a judge in the High Court said about reinstating the illegally suspended council chairman. I think you are right. I think there's a fundamental issue, and that is the governor doesn't have what it takes to govern this state. He has no clue. To make things worse, he has surrounded himself with people that also are not better, that have no idea of what governance is all about, that are looking only at the paraphernalia of office and what it takes and what the allures that come with it and all the perks that come with it. So we are really in a very, very serious situation in Edo State, where clearly you can see that since the November 12th inauguration of this government, nothing has happened in Edo State. Nothing, absolutely nothing has happened in Edo State. What you hear is, I've reinstated the teachers the lecturers in AAU, I've renamed Edo State University, I'm going to build a flyover from Rama Park to wherever he wants to build it to. There's nothing else that has been done in Edo State. And as we speak, the IGR in Edo State has nosedived from 8 billion to about 2 billion. Reason? Nobody is coming into Edo State again. The Victor Wifo Creative Hub is dying. The agricultural hub, the education hub, all the things that the former governor had thought through, has put in place, that was making us to generate as much as 8 billion naira IGR every month. Nobody is talking about that. And of course, capital. The investor is, quote and unquote, a coward. If he senses that there is insecurity, there is upheaval, there is no harmony in the place, nobody will bring his money, nobody will come, nobody will invest here.
All right.
So it's so gloomy for Edo State. But is it that we are going to be that gloomy this year? Of course not. I'm reassuring Edo people that by God's grace, by the grace of Almighty God, when we get our mandate back, all this will be things of the past, and Edo will continue on the good legacies, on the good projects, on the things that Obaseki did for this state, which I dare say no governor in this state has done 20% of what Obaseki did under the PDP-led administration for 4 years.
All right then.
So Edo State should not despair.
Okay.
This is just the beginning of the year. By September, August, we'll be fine, and everything will be just cool.
All right, Dr. Azegbemi, Chairman of the PDP in Edo State, we want to thank you for joining us.